Recently, the Roblox YouTuber Parlo became a target of a massive defamation campaign. A group of YouTubers and viewers who dislike him, particularly from the Pyrocynical subreddit, grouped up together to spread misinformation and false narratives. In response, Parlo, alongside other several creators who understood the truth, released videos to clarify the situation and set the record straight. However, things haven't stopped there. Since then, even more misinformation has surfaced with new claims, twisted narratives, and outright lies. In this video, I'll be setting the record straight once again. I'll debunk the new waves of false claims against Parlo. But before we get into all of that, make sure to like and subscribe to show support to Parlo while he's facing this wave of defamation. So Parlo originally announced that he would be investigating Pyrocynical with the focus on multiple instances of an alleged inappropriate behavior. This included Pyrocynical's admission in his own response video that he continued to send to a 16-year-old while he was 20 years old, something that is illegal under UK laws, as referenced at 9:22 in Pyrocynical's response video.
When Ivory linked me his Twitter profile, the age in bio says 16. This is something I acknowledged in my Reddit post, but to be fair, I probably didn't elaborate enough on it. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learnt of his age, even though at the time, I didn't see it as a problem.
Parlo also pointed out that Pyrocynical dated a 14-year-old while he was 18. These are serious accusations, and Parlo plans to present more evidence and clarification in a large document expected to be released later this month. Once Parlo announced this plan to revisit the Pyrocynical situation with new evidence, backlash came quickly, especially from the Pyrocynical subreddit. Users there began spreading outright lies about Parlo, falsely labeling him as a One of their main arguments was based on his past relationship with the person named Dupe, who lied about being 17 but was actually 12, and catfished Parlo, who was 19 at the time. They also circulated fake screenshots originating from a group already known for criminal activity. If that sounds bad, it gets even worse. Less than 24 hours after Parlo's response video went live, Pyrocynical subreddit moderators blacklisted all posts that were defending him. All while still they allowed defamatory posts to stay up. The mods even made a post brushing off the situation saying, "Low-effort drama posts are banned. If I see one more post cataloging every single Parlo tweet, I'm going to vomit." So let's get this straight. They allow Parlo to be falsely labeled as a but when he responds with evidence and context, that's when suddenly it's all considered low-effort drama. Meanwhile, slander against him continues to thrive on their platform unchecked. That's why I'm making this video. Less than a few hours after Parlo's response video went live, this post appeared on the Pyrocynical subreddit. Right off the bat, this post attempted to discredit Parlo by calling him hypocritical for wanting people to wait for real evidence, meanwhile conveniently ignoring the fact that Pyrocynical himself admitted in his response video that he knew Ivory's age all along, and still chose to send to a 16-year-old. That alone is illegal in the United Kingdom, where Pyrocynical resides. So when this Reddit user tries to compare Parlo's situation with Dupe to Ivory and Pyrocynical, they're being blatantly dishonest. There's no comparison. Dupe lied about his age and catfished Parlo. Meanwhile, Pyrocynical admitted that he knew Ivory was underage and still went through with it. This post also tries to claim that Parlo is just here to downvote posts, as if disliking open slander is somehow an argument. But the part that really exposes their hypocrisy is at the very end. They criticized Parlo for encouraging people to go to Reddit to spread the truth, and then admit people who went there to defend Parlo were instantly banned. So basically they're saying that Parlo tried to give people more context while simultaneously spreading slanderous claims about him. This entire post reeks of projection. It's a desperate attempt to shift the narrative and frame Parlo as the manipulator, when in reality it's the subreddit that has silenced all dissent, allowed defamatory content to thrive, and banned anyone trying to speak up with facts. Now, let's talk about this Reddit reply, which claims Parlo is 100% guilty and should be turned over to the police, simply because Dupe lied about his age. This take is not only legally inaccurate, it's morally dishonest. From a legal standpoint, this argument falls apart instantly. In virtually every jurisdiction, including where Parlo resides, intent and knowledge are crucial. When it comes to alleged misconduct with a minor, if a person is lied to about someone's age and has no reasonable way to verify otherwise, that becomes a very key defense in court. That's not Google misinformation, that's legal precedent. Let's remember, Dupe claimed he was 17, acted like it, claimed he sounded like it, and manipulated not just Parlo, but multiple people. And this wasn't just a case of Parlo ignoring obvious signs. He repeatedly asked Dupe's age, and Dupe insisted he was older. This wasn't a 19-year-old grooming a 12-year-old, this was a 12-year-old catfishing an adult and weaponizing that lie after the fact when he was exposed. That is not illegal on Parlo's part, especially given the lack of behavior. There is no law anywhere that makes you guilty simply for being deceived by a liar pretending to be older. Additionally, people pretend as if Parlo is the only person Dupe lied about being a near adult to. Many people have testified that Dupe lied to them about being a grown adult. yet people seem to completely ignore that. And right after Parlo's response videos started gaining traction, people got desperate. The Reddit post dropped the so-called expose document claiming to have never been seen before information on Parlo. It accuses him of working with doxers, swatters, and supposedly lying about injuring himself back in 2022. But let's break this down honestly. This isn't new information, this is a recycled and debunked document from years ago being reused purely to discredit Parlo now that he's resurfacing uncomfortable facts about Pyrocynical. The timing here isn't just suspicious, it's blatantly retaliatory. You don't suddenly remember a 2-year-old PDF document the moment Parlo responds to accusations. That's not evidence, that's a smear campaign. Even the language used in the post tells you everything. It doesn't say, here's some credible proof. It says, have fun, lads. That's not the tone of someone uncovering the truth, that's someone trying to stir up a whole ass witch hunt. And more importantly, if any of this document had any real weight, it would have been relevant when it first dropped. But now, Parlo's shining light on Pyrocynical's behavior and getting too close to the truth, suddenly people are digging through the recycling bin trying to find something to cancel him with. That's not justice, that's agenda-driven damage control. Parlo didn't just respond to these false claims, he released a massive 100-page document specifically designed to debunk the Parlo leaks. This comprehensive document addressed every single claim made in the original smear campaign, thoroughly explaining how the screenshots and accusations were misinterpreted or even taken out of context. Parlo also clarified that many of these were harmless teenage jokes, not evidence of any malicious intent, and highlighted the hypocrisy of those spreading the falsehoods, including the individual behind the smear. Sideice and XD Gamer, the two people who originally made the document, were exposed for being horrible people. Sideice was a serial doxer who had over 100 victims, and XD Gamer is someone who continuously harassed Parlo for 3 years. Both XD Gamer and Sideice have their own as well. Sideice wanted to make out with the 12-year-old when he was 16 turning 17, and XD Gamer openly admitted to having CP. Both of these individuals were covered in previous videos. And just to set the record straight, both the original document containing the misinformation and the document proving the truth is available in my Discord server in the Proof channel. In another attempt to use the dupe situation against Parlo, someone raised, "These were images in your video, Parlo. Can you explain where you said he lied about his age to you?" This referred to a conversation where Parlo jokingly said he was 23, and Dupe responded, "I'm 13, don't groom me," as part of a joke about a non-existent 10-year age gap. People twisted this, claiming that Dupe admitted his age earlier. However, Parlo and Dupe often joked about their ages, with Parlo pretending to be younger or older at times. Same thing with Dupe. But they both consistently insisted on their actual ages, Parlo being 19 and Dupe claiming 17, until Parlo learned Dupe's real age later in March of 2025. To summarize the situation, the ongoing defamation campaign against Parlo is fueled by misinformation and distortion of facts. Despite the malicious efforts to discredit him, Parlo has all the evidence to properly debunk the false claims. The truth here is pretty clear. Parlo was deceived, manipulated, but there is no evidence of malicious intent on his part. If any more claims do release, please make sure to use your head and think this through before falsely accusing Parlo for the millionth time. Additionally, do be prepared for the Pyrocynical situation. I was one of the many YouTubers who was able to review the document, and it does not look good for Pyrocynical at all. Please make sure to like and subscribe because this situation will start a huge YouTube war.